What's up, everybody? Ed here again. Again. It's Wednesday night. So, regarding my video last night, talking about the Teisco guitars and talking about the brands, okay, there might have been some misunderstanding in how I interpreted Jace Allen, who's sneaking in here. Who's sneaking in here, Toto? You chihuahua, you. Hey, look. Who's that? I love that dog. I may have misinterpreted his intent, but I don't think so. So he left a comment saying that I was wrong, that there are guitars on Reverb by Teisco that have sold for $1,000 more. So I looked, and he's right, there are. But some of them are really, really bizarro, really super rare Teiscos. Some of them you can't even really classify as Teiscos. Some of them were reissues made in the 90s. The majority of these guitars, the Teisco guitars, are only going for a couple of $100. And if you pay that for them, God bless you. Go ahead. Pay that. Pay whatever you want. You can pay whatever you want. Anything is worth whatever people will pay for it. My point is, in 20 years, will Firefly and all these other brands still be around? Who started Firefly? Where did they come from? What was the motivation to start that company? That company was created, in my opinion, to make quick sales on Amazon and other mail order sites, because they don't carry Firefly at Guitar Center. They don't carry them at Sweetwater that I know of. You have to order them. So in 20 years, will that brand name still be around? That's my point. I'm not saying the guitars that were made now won't be around. They will be. And they will probably follow the way many, many other brands of guitars have gone. I used to work in a music store, and they sold brands from China like Palmer, Elica. What was the one that I bought? I bought this guitar that was supposed to be from. It was an acoustic guitar that was like the acoustic, the Strat acoustic and the Teleacoustics that they made, that were made in China, that were shaped like a Stratocaster and a Telecaster, not the new ones, the good ones that they make. These were real cheap suckers that were just absolutely awful, and they were almost always black. It was a guitar like that, but shaped more like a cutaway acoustic, but it was thinner, and it was supposedly made by a guy that worked at Gibson and had split off and started his own company. I wish I could remember the name of that guitar, because I purchased one from the music store that I worked at, and after a short time later took it back and traded it for something else. I can't remember what I traded it to get that Strat acoustic that was terrible, that I kept for a while, and kept working on it and trying to make it work and shimming the neck and doing all kinds of stuff. And that was part of the trade that I made to a music store to get my first Taylor. I took a bunch of amps, old amps and guitars. I took an Ibanez Art Core, that Strat acoustic. I took a busted Blues Junior and an old Ampeg SVT combo that was a like a 200-watt combo on wheels. It was a big ass Ampeg bass amp, but it had problems. It worked fine, but it had problems. It would, if you tried to gig with it in the middle of the gig, it would start acting funny and cut out halfway. Anyway, I got rid of all that stuff, okay? And all that stuff is gone. Those guitar brands are gone. The Palmers, the Elicas, the Canvas. It was called Canvas guitar. Was that guitar that I bought that was supposed to be a guy from Gibson? Okay. So anyway, I didn't misinterpret your video. I don't think. The point is, not the point is. One thing you got to understand is when you make videos and you put them on YouTube and they're out there. People are going to react. People are going to respond. People are going to interpret them one way or another. So whatever you say, you said it. I didn't say it. You said it. Okay? I'm funny. You think I'm funny? Tell me how I'm funny. No. I didn't say it. You said it. Okay? So, I'm not, Jace, I apologize. I'm not going after your videos. I'm just reacting to the content that you're putting up and giving my opinion. That's all I'm doing. I'm just asking questions, man. I'm just asking questions. Okay? So, I'm not coming after you in a YouTube type of way, or you seem to know what you're talking about. You're a good guy. I like you. I don't want no problem. I don't want no problems, okay? That's all I'm saying. So, that being said, those people that are buying those Teiscos, if they're buying them for a collection, I think they're nuts. They're crazy. But there are some, cool looking, in a bizarre way, guitars that Teisco and some of those other brands made that came out of those factories. But they play for shit. I just watched a video today of a guy, and oh God. All right, let me look. I'm gonna look real quick. I'm gonna bring up my YouTube, and I'm gonna go to YouTube, and I'm going to look at the history, and I'm gonna go down, restoring a tulip guitar. The worst guitar I've ever played, Guitar Max. Okay? Guitar Max is a channel that I'm subscribed to, and he has a guitar that looks very similar to one of those Teiscos. And this guy is, a pretty big channel and knows a lot about guitars. And the title of his video is The Worst Guitar I've Ever Played. So there. I didn't mean to insinuate that you were making it up or that you were giving any false information or anything. I'm just saying, in these brands that people are buying off of Amazon now. And some of those, I think it's Enya guitars that are the carbon fiber guitars, and they've got the electronics built in that everybody is getting sent to them. Sean Daniels and a lot, even you, Jace, got these guitars sent to you. What's going to happen when those electronics break? Okay, do you think they're up to par with the quality of, say, your iPhone. All right. And when those electronics fail, who's going to fix it? And what are you going to do with that guitar? What's it going to be worth? It's going to be a wall hanger. My opinion. Again, disclaimer, my opinion. So, and everybody got those sent to them, you know, to review, and they've all got these good reviews. Everybody says these great things about them. Uh, Nobody's ever going to ask me to review anything because I hate everything. You know, I'm old, I'm grumpy. I've been ripped off. I've been shit on, sat on, and shat on. I hate everything. So it is what it is. That's all I'm saying. So I apologize if I ruffled any feathers there on that video. I I I always thumb up you. You know, I always give you the thumbs up because you know what you're talking about for the most part. I think you're honest. Uh, I don't want to say sometimes I feel it's disingenuous because it's probably not. But I get that impression from a lot of these types of videos. Okay, so you got to say I'm jaded. I'm jaded to these videos because I know that so much crap out there gets a shining star review. All right, that's so. All right, that's it. I'm done. Jace, I'm sorry. I won't. I won't bring you up anymore in videos. I hope you can accept that, and I won't. You know, I wasn't coming after you on video or anything, so I apologize, and I won't do that anymore. And everybody, it's the middle of the week. The end of the week's coming. I got to go watch Cult of Dusty right now because he's already started. He's live. He's already started, and I got to go watch it. So, all right, everybody, have a good rest of your week. See you later.